What's going on, guys? Frank Dingleberry here, and today I'm going to be throwing a video at you showing you how you can get a Djent or Metalcore or any sort of metal guitar tone all for free using free VST effects that you can find online. Now, I've uploaded all the effects that you're going to need into a little pack online onto my Mega Upload account, and I'll put the link in the description down below. It will contain 4 things in it, which is going to be guitar pedal VSTI, which is to boost the gain, and just the general signal, which is always something that a lot of people tend to do in metal, and it makes it sound really good in my opinion. It will contain an amp or a preamp VSTI, it will contain an impulse response loader, and it will contain an impulse itself. So when you go into the description, you'll see this link and it'll bring you to this website right here, and then all you're going to do is just click download through your browser, and then it'll take a moment or two. It's only 4 megabytes to search, so it shouldn't take too long. Now, once you have saved your file, make sure to extract it using WinRAR or WinZip or any sort of extraction program, and place your VSTs into your default directory for your digital audio workstation, which is usually something like C, program files, VST plugins, or Steinberg VST plugins, something like that, and then your digital audio workstation will recognize them as VST effects, and then you can apply them to the track. Now, if you don't know how to install VST effects on your digital audio workstation, let me know in the comments down below, and I will do an entirely separate video on how to do that. But there are tons of tutorials and guides online for how to use VST effects, but it's a kind of a different subject, so I don't want to get into it in this video. But I'm under the assumption that if you're watching this, you have a general idea of how to create new signal chains and add VST effects to your DAW. So yeah, if you'd like to see a different video on that, then leave a comment down below. Now, before we jump into what the signal chain is, I'm going to show you a sound sample using this guitar tone. So this is a song that I created actually just yesterday, well, part of a song, and it's a very Djent Metalcore song, and this tone was achieved using the effects that I have in this video here, and there's just one guitar on the left, one guitar on the right. There wasn't any quad tracking or anything like that. It was just one left, one right. So here's that sample. So there you go, that was a sound sample using the guitar tones that I'm going to show you today in this video. So if you enjoyed it, awesome. If not, then I'm sorry you didn't like the tone. There's probably a different one out there for you that you might like. But if you enjoyed it, yeah, let's jump into the signal chain. So first we have this track right here, and it just has the tuner on it, which is irrelevant. It's not in the pack. Because this is just a tuner that tunes your guitar. It comes inside of Reaper. There's probably one in your DAW if you're not using Reaper. But the signal chain order is important, so keep this in mind when you are attempting to replicate these settings. So first we got the tuner. Second, we got the TSC 808, which is basically like a tube screamer pedal, which or a Maxon 808 overdrive, which basically boosts your guitar signal and gives you a nice raw sound for your distortion. And as you can see, we have drive completely turned off. We have volume about, what would that be, like 2 o'clock, and then we have tone about that as well. Quality on high, stereo off, input level on just 1, and then next in the chain we have TSC X30 1.6. It's actually got I'm not sure what the name means, but it's like there's 2 versions of it. There's SOV and then SIL, I think it is, but we're using the SOV one, SOV. And as you can see, all of the settings are just tuned to default, so if you load this, you generally won't have to touch it, which is kind of good. As you can see, the gain switch is on, output is on, just 12 o'clock, 12 all across the board, no stereo, no trafo, no contour. And next we have NDIR, which is it's kind of hard to explain, and it's probably something that I'd prefer to go into a different video, so I'm going to continue on the assumption that you've dealt with impulse responses before. And if you haven't, then just kind of do what I do right here, and then leave a comment down below if you don't know what this exactly does, and I can maybe go into a different video more in depth about that. But yeah, this is fourth on the signal chain, this is NDIR, which I've included down below. And as you can see, it's powers on, levels at 12 o'clock here. Routing is mono. Quality is normal. You can set that higher if you want, but that usually creates more digital noise into your track, depending on how good your interface is and how good your computer is, but I just have it on normal. Still sounds good to me. High pass right down, low pass all the way up, delay all the way down, balance all the way to the left, high pass all the way down on this. But this right here, these effects don't matter because you're running this in mono, so you're only using this channel. As you can see, the power's on right here, the power's off, so these knobs right here are what's important, and this right here. And then what you're going to do is you'll notice that in that pack there was a file called Kill Switch Engage. you're going to go right here and you're going to click this folder, and then wherever you put that file on your computer, this is where you're going to have to look for it, and you're basically just going to load that kill switch engage file, which is this is just a list of or bunches of all these different impulse responses that I have. And then once you load it, as you can see, it kind of just defaults everything to that anyways, so you probably won't need to touch it. And then yeah, so kill switch engage is the one that I chose to use because I love kill switch engage, and I've had the impulse forever, but I've never touched it. I have so many impulse responses, and then I've been listening to them a lot lately, so I decided to look in my folder and I was like, oh look, there's a kill switch engage one. So I ended up really liking it, and it sounds really metal and djent as fuck, so hopefully you guys enjoy it too. And finally, as a final effect in the chain, we have a noise gate, which is regate. Now this wasn't inside of the tone pack because this VST itself is exclusive to Reaper. It's a noise gate that Reaper themselves create, and it's only within this digital audio workstation. But generally, you can find any sort of noise gate online for free, or use a one that is most likely bundled in your DAW, and you can just basically copy these settings down right here and replicate them into that noise gate, and it'll give you the same results because they all basically do the same thing. But as you can see, we have a low pass on 4,293 Hz, 148 Hz on the high pass, and we have minus 17.5 right here on the threshold, which just basically cuts out unwanted frequencies and noise from your guitar tone. Now, there will be a link in the description as well, pointing you to the websites of the creators of all of these VST effects, because I don't like the thought of bundling them all together myself, not giving credit to where credit is due, because these VST plugins, they are incredible, and they do some really great work, but I just wanted to bundle everything together so it's a little bit simpler, and sometimes the website changes its links and stuff like that, and then I'll have to update them, and sometimes some people don't comment, and then I don't realize that this link is down. So yeah, there will be those links in the description as well, and you can check out their websites and see what other sort of VST effects that they have, and you might find something